Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. We have a disturbing update to our story of the very cozy relationship between various police departments and the Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club, a canned hunt club in Prior Lake, Minnesota in Scott County. Lots of police frequent the club, and this includes departments outside their jurisdiction. But the most disturbing is the connection with the office of Scott County Sheriff Luke Hennon. After shooting this picture on the day of a live pigeon shoot, we sent an email to Captain Jeff Sweden of the Scott County Sheriff's Office asking if his business was official or personal. It's been weeks since we sent that inquiry, and there's been no response from Captain Sweden. We put Captain Sweden's name and email out for others to try to persuade him to explain himself, but the good captain will have none of it. That says a lot. Captain Sweden may not be talking, but we did receive a response to our inquiry about the presence of a Minnesota Department of Natural Resources officer, and it was a real eye-opener.
A DNR conservation officer responded to the Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club in Prior Lake on May 9th after the Scott County Sheriff's Office requested assistance with a demonstration/protest outside the facility. There was a pigeon hunt going on inside the facility. The Sheriff's Office specifically asked the officer to monitor for any violations related to hunter harassment. The conservation officer spent 2.5 hours at the club, including driving inside and speaking with the participating hunters. This is routine, given that hunters are an important constituency of the DNR, and conservation officers regularly work on relationship building with the citizens they serve.
Take another look at this part of the statement.
Conservation officers regularly work on relationship building with the citizens they serve.
We now know that officer to be James Fogarty. What I find so interesting about that portion of the statement is that I tried to flag down Officer Fogarty as he left the property, but Officer Fogarty wouldn't stop. He just kept going. Let's remember that Officer Fogarty was there at the request of Scott County Sheriff Luke Hennon to watch us. This was Officer Fogarty's opportunity to not just watch us, but talk to us. Apparently, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources doesn't realize that it exists to serve all citizens, not just the cowardly creeps at the Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club who have animals tossed up in front of them to be shot. It's really sad that the Minnesota DNR considers shooting pigeons tossed in the air to be a hunt. It says a lot about how far hunting ethics have fallen in the 21st century. Besides the downfall of hunting ethics, it is important to mention that this slaughter at the Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club marked Shark's 5th time documenting the cowardly abuse by club members. Never once has Shark received a ticket or even a warning, even though Luke Hennon and his deputies are apparently in the service of the Hunt Club and are there regularly. Never once were we accused of committing any violation of law whatsoever. Oh, there's been plenty of law breaking, but it's always been the club members breaking it. On one occasion, Eric Goddell, the Director of Sales and Marketing at Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club, tried to intimidate us. But Sheriff Hennon wouldn't do anything about that.
What you guys are doing?
You're in it? No, we never got close to you. You stink. When's the last time you showered? Get away. Then there was club owner Bill Urseth, who put his hands on a woman right in front of a Scott County Sheriff's deputy.
You, officer!
Hey!
Get that out of here!
And Sheriff Hennon wouldn't do anything about that. That says a lot about Mr. Urseth and Sheriff Hennon, and none of it is good. But there's more. After the Urseth assault, we inquired whether the Sheriff's Office hired out off-duty officers for security. We figured that would keep club members in line. We contacted the Sheriff's Office and spoke to the services sergeant. The sergeant told us that while the sheriff did hire out off-duty officers, they would not do that for us. No reason given. Isn't that interesting? In our next trip, an individual named Donald Matta used his pickup to intimidate the same woman who was assaulted by Bill Urseth a year earlier. Matta made the woman move from where she lawfully stood off the road. Sheriff Hennon did nothing about that. Then there was the reckless driving incident of Brian David Zipboy, who intentionally drove his vehicle at two shark investigators as they quietly stood on the side of a road. Incredibly, the sheriff wouldn't do anything about that very dangerous incident either. It took some 8 weeks of prodding the Scott County attorney before charges were finally filed. Trial is still likely a ways off. So after 4 trips by shark to this bloody, cowardly club, with multiple infractions by club members which are overlooked by the sheriff, and no tickets or charges of any kind against us, Sheriff Luke Hennon feels he must pull in additional branches of law enforcement to monitor us? The Scott County Sheriff's Office has been providing private security for the club with the cost borne by county taxpayers. Now, Sheriff Hennon is calling in the Minnesota DNR to provide more private security, with Minnesota taxpayers picking up the tab. I wonder what all that taxpayer-funded security costs the Killing Club. A few free meals for the cops at the club's restaurant, and maybe some free animal slaughters? In any case, county police and game wardens have been turned into private security puppets at taxpayer expense. Look, all canned hunt clubs are disgusting places. They're basically watering holes for people with too much time and money and no ethical or moral code. The Minnesota Horse and Hunt Club is an especially bad example of canned hunting. It is not uncommon to see birds so docile they will not fly being thrown into the air to be shot. In some cases, they take these tame, flightless birds and just let the dogs savage them for a while. Often the still living, still conscious birds are stuffed into jackets. There's no regard whatsoever for the suffering of the victims. There always have been and always will be psychopaths who are forever trying to satiate their bloodlust. What is so utterly repulsive and downright corrupt is that law enforcement oftentimes is there to support them. That is exactly what we're seeing in Scott County, Minnesota. Feel free to write to Sheriff Hennon and let him know your thoughts, but please be professional and courteous at all times, and please let us know if Sheriff Hennon responds. I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.